Star copies all. Go ahead. Message to observer. Alpha 3 rounds. AT delay in effect. 3 guns. Bravo 2 rounds. 2 guns. Smoke on effect.
What's going on, guys? Options Millionaire here, coming at you with another video from the educational series. This particular indicator that I want to discuss is one that's asked about a lot. It's asked about both on the Reddit and my Discord channels because it's a very popular one. A lot of high-level day traders use it. It's pretty much industry standard for using this because it goes over trend and price, both things that I follow very, very closely, volume and price. And it's called the volume weighted average price, otherwise known as VWAP. So what is VWAP? You could basically say it calculates the average price of the stock based on how many shorts are traded throughout the day, which is a bunch of different price targets, a bunch of different time frames throughout the entire day. It takes all that up, it wraps a bow on it, and it spits it out in front of you on your chart in the form of the VWAP line. Now I'm going to hide my other EMAs so you can kind of see the VWAP very, very clearly. And there you have it. A nice trending smooth line. It's not too archy like a short-term EMA. You can kind of see it bouncing all over. Just a very trendy line, nice and smooth, that identifies your volume weighted average price. Now, why is this important? Because it takes into account both volume and price. A couple of limitations on it is that it is anchored to your opening price. One, and then two, it's only a single day indicator. So you can't use it on multi-day indicators because you can get skewed results because of the pre and post market trading. So you can kind of see here, it starts out right here at the opening trend and follows the average pricing going down. Because we had such a large influx of selling here on this particular day, for example, you can kind of see the pricing come down, and then the VWAP comes down, and as the price consolidates and averages out, you see the line flatten and then create this nice uniform line all throughout the day. Now, how do you use VWAP? Well, because it takes into account price and volume and shows you trends, it's a very important indicator to use. I use it for support and resistance plays. It definitely shows you where a support level is and what a resistance level is because it takes into account all that volume at a certain price. It's why it's awesome to tie it in with my favorite indicator, which is the volume profile. Volume profile is a fantastic indicator, and you tie it in with the VWAP, it's unbelievable. So let's take a good example of a resistance play on VWAP. Here you have May 25th. Now, this particular day was obviously a bearish day. The price tanked right at open and stayed down. So the first thing, I'm not going to necessarily use VWAP right off the bat because I want to see a trend forming for me particularly. And obviously I'm going to use this one separate from other indicators today. I'm going to speak in theoretical terms because obviously you want to use all indicators in conjunction with each other in your trusted setup. Obviously I'm only talking about VWAP, so I'm going to talk in theoretical terms. So this is a bearish day. You see the price right out of the gate, and now it's anchored to your initial opening price. You see the price tank. It comes down. It comes down. It almost tests VWAP, but not yet. I wouldn't really call that a test of VWAP yet. And it tanks. You get that. Now you get a rebound. The bullish action comes up. Here's my frame of thought. The very bearish sentiment today, I'm going to be looking at some sort of manipulation of price at the VWAP because you have all this volume and all this price right here in one area. I expect some sort of manipulation out of the price. Is it going to reject? Is it going to consolidate and go higher? Those are pretty much your two things. If it pops VWAP, you can kind of foresee some sort of bullish action coming into play here. Either way, though, you can expect buyers and sellers to at least have some sort of a battle right here. So what I'm going to do is wait for the action. Wait for the action. If it does pop down and break, that's a possible put entry. You can kind of take that as a put entry because if it does break VWAP, all right, I know that on this day, it's a bearish day, we might be able to see VWAP being used as a resistance level. Now, if you want to wait for further confirmation, that's cool too. I would probably do that. It fails VWAP. It comes up. It almost tests VWAP again. It fails. Now that would probably be a good put entry because it's going to fail it almost twice. It fails, and of course, we consolidate all the way down. So we know right here on this particular day, VWAP is a very hard resistance point because that volume is telling you that there's just not much, there's many buyers here. The volume is definitely controlled by the sellers. Now let's go and take a look at a bullish day with the VWAP where it uses it as support. All right, May 7th is a great example of forming support on a bullish day in the morning that turns into a chop session the rest of the afternoon. So we have this huge influx of buying right in the morning right here. It comes well up above the previous day's trading hours after this little gap up in pre-market trading. It opens here. We have this slow upward trend because we have this large influx of buying, which turns into this kind of upward consolidating range. So the VWAP starts to level out. Now, you see this break. The break in the price comes down, and of course, the same way with the resistance, as it approaches VWAP from the upside, I can reasonably predict that there's going to be some sort of manipulation of price at the VWAP because there's a lot of volume and there's a lot of price there. A lot of volume at price there. So as it approaches, I'm prepared. What is VWAP going to do? Well, it bounces off, comes down, the price breaks again, it rejects VWAP, it comes down, rejects VWAP, comes down, rejects VWAP. So there's a very strong support here on VWAP. I know that the sellers aren't going to take this thing back down below the VWAP at this point. So once we have this new consolidation here, it's off to the races. You could potentially take a trade on one of these and do some quick scalps every time it breaks. And then, of course, you've got a nice one here. A couple of quick scalp plays will make you a few percentage points on some wins. Awesome way to play VWAP. Now, on the flip side, if you want to play a trend reversal on these things, you would, every time the price breaks, you can play some puts on a downward trend. And as it approaches VWAP, you can use the VWAP as an actual exit point instead of an entry point. So here, if you wanted a short, you wait for the price to break. And as it's coming down towards VWAP, you can take an exit point near the VWAP, assuming that the price is going to be manipulated. Here's another fantastic example. So the price breaks very bullish all day after this huge sell-off. It rebounds, has a nice V recovery. Then the price breaks if you wanted to take a put. If you were so inclined, you come down here as the price nears VWAP, you can assume, once again, manipulation of price, close that put, and it goes on and goes forth. Here's another example of using an exit point on a call. So the price breaks well below VWAP. Once we get some consolidation, you see a green candle, you take your call. The price increases, and because this is somewhat of a bearish day, downward trend, trending below the VWAP, you could assume that the sellers are going to step in approximately right about VWAP, and you can close that call for a nice little gain. Just a few examples of how you can use the VWAP both at the entry point and an exit point because it uses volume and price. Anyway, y'all, that is all I got about VWAP. Nice and easy trend, resistance, support indicator that I use for my day trading system. Pretty simple, but yet very, very effective, especially when used in conjunction with my other indicators like the volume profile. Just fantastic. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching this video. If you're new, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, smash that notification bell so anytime I post a new video or I go live on YouTube, you get that notification and you can jump on and follow along. So anyway, till next time, guys, I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. This is Options Millionaire. Once again, I'm out of here. See ya.